First tonight, the New Zealand Defence Force has broken its silence over the Nicky Hager and John Stevenson book Hit and Run, released 6 days ago, almost to the minute as it happens. Having previously denied it, they now admit some civilians may have been killed in the New Zealand-led SAS raid, but insist Hager and Stevenson got the village and the details wrong. The Chief of Defence Force, Lieutenant General Tim Keating, said 9 insurgents were killed. Hager and Stevenson say none. And whilst the book identifies the village of Naik and Kakudidad, Operation Burnham was conducted 2 kilometres away in the Turgaran village, and he had the footage to prove it.
That camera footage, one, provides irrefutable evidence of what was being engaged by the coalition aircraft, and 2, it's geo-referenced, so it gives the location of where those engagements occurred. But I have seen it.
Lieutenant General Keating said 9 insurgents were killed in the Turgaran village and civilians may have been injured.
What occurred is a helicopter was engaging a group of insurgents outside the village, on the outskirts of the village. During that engagement, it was noted by the ground forces, the SS ground forces, that some of the rounds were falling short and went into a building where it was believed there were civilians as well as armed insurgents. It is noted that the building, there were armed insurgents in there, but is believed there may have been civilians in the building. So the weapon malfunctioned and some rounds went into that building. There is no confirmation that any casualties occurred, but there may have been.
Tim Keating said he gave no briefing or indication to then Defence Minister Wayne Mapp that Operation Burnham was, quote, a fiasco.
I think what the legal staff officer has pointed out is that, civilian casualties in war are an unfortunate element of war. There has been no evidence produced from the village that we operated in that have presented to the satisfaction of the governor and the authorities of Afghanistan that casualties occurred in that village. Even if there was, as far as the New Zealand Defence Force occurred, the coalition investigation has said that if there were casualties, the fault of those casualties was a mechanical failure of a piece of equipment.
Lieutenant Keating said while he had no issue with an inquiry, the Defence Force has irrefutable evidence Operation Burnham took place in an entirely separate place from the villages identified in the Hager-Stevenson book.
I wouldn't have an issue, but legally it would be a little bit of a challenge, so compelling people to give evidence. But reviewing, so this is what I'm doing, this is my role under the Armed Forces Discipline Act on behalf of New Zealand and maintaining a disciplined armed force. It is not in our interest to push stuff under the carpet. It is in my interest to see if the conduct of New Zealanders on operations is less than exemplary.
Lieutenant Keating told the media conference that, setting aside some security classifications, he would also have no issue releasing material relating to Operation Burnham.
I'll release what we can release to prove our location, but as you've seen from the presentation, it's the underlying premise of the book. Are we talking about what we? So again, let me come back to your question. Is your question about what we did in Operation Burnham, or the allegations made in the book of a place that we weren't at?
Operation Burnham, will you release what you can release, what the public might release?
Yes, I'd be more than satisfied to release what we can. That in the village where the SAS operated, that I'll back our statement that the conduct of our people on the ground there, and in fact all people on that operation, including the coalition aircraft, was exemplary.
Lieutenant General Tim Keating, we invited him to join us on Checkpoint tonight so we'd explore some of these issues at greater length. He declined our invitation.